people will find it, click it, and then they come back to the KV Core page. The way that I have my KV Core set up is it shows them 1 or 2 images, and then they have to register in order to see the rest of the images. Now, when I'm putting up a new listing, of course, this is mine or my team. So my team, we have a rule, the moment that we get a new listing, all the agents on the team have it posted automatically for them. We have someone offshore that works for us to put it up, and they all put up the link, but it's their link. So know that when you log in here and you copy this is your link. It's gonna bring people back to your page, no matter if I'm the listing agent or not. Same thing goes if you're texting this or if you're emailing it. The link, when you look at listings online here, this is your personal link that brings them back to your personal website. Very powerful, because now you're bringing them back to your site, right? That's a really cool tool. Now, when I do it, there's 2 places I want to do that for. One is, I put up a listing, I want to grab contacts. It's pretty cool. So when I go in and I have listings that I've sold, I can look under that listing and it has a whole list of contacts. So if I go out, let me see if I have any current ones that are online here. So this is one, this isn't actually my listing, it's I have it on NJMLS for one of my agents. If I put this ad out, it will literally have this tab, click it, a little slow, has matching buyers. So these are people in our database looking for similar properties. Think about that. You have a town. Most people don't know this exists. You have a town you operate in. You do a lot of open houses, and we do a lot of open houses. We like open houses, right? They go in. If you hit matching buyers, it'll tell you everyone in your database. Now for me, it's my team's database. But now I can send out that listing to every one of these folks and say, hey, new listing comes up. Could it be done at office level? Absolutely. I don't care who syndicates my listing as long as the name goes out, right? I love it. I'll let you guys want to do my listings, be my guest, right? It gets the syndication out and I have a better chance of selling it. But that's a really neat tab underneath this. On the activity side though, what will happen is if people go to the website and register from the link that I just showed you, they'll register and show up here under this home. So you can have a running list. So why does that work well? As everyone probably starting to see, we're starting to like not go as vertical as we were. We're starting to have a little flattening, right? Mm-hmm. Not necessarily pricing, not necessarily offers, but we're not seeing as much volume, probably because they're enjoying the beach. That's my speculation. When you go in here, you have a condition or a price change. You can go right back to the entire database without going to showing time, going everywhere else, and create a custom message. If you're going highest and best, you can send it out to all the people because you've put them all into this listing. You know where they are. You can send it out to highest and best. It's a really useful tool to save you some time. Now, I like showing time as well from the sending it out perspective because it's all kind of integrated with how we do things. I know some people don't love it. You should know that any of these tools is your sales pitch. Effectively, I think that's why we win. You'll notice if you friend me, I talk about digital, and the only reason why is it allows me to multiply out. If I didn't, with the volume of listings, like last week, I think we're at 7.5 million last week, or a week and a half, right? And about 10 listings, 12 listings. When those listings all hit online next week, I couldn't possibly go out on a listing appointment and pay attention to people properly because my phone will be going nuts, right? And I always bring my phone. I always have my phone face down. I'm gonna say that to my agents. But I always have my phone because I don't know if I need to bring something cool up. Sometimes people talk about it, I'm like, oh, I got a picture of that generator hookup. Let me show you that. Like I try to make it so that I have a story with everything that comes along with it. But when you have the ability to use showing time, have your showing scheduled, and not be interrupted when you're in a listing appointment, it's just an ability to scale. But what I say to my folks is, and I'll give you my script, you know how it works. I say to them, we have a white glove showing service. And that white glove showing service ensures that when I'm with you, I'm present, that you are the most important thing. But when that comes through, everyone gets an answer. Everyone gets a response. And then, if you don't, so you're gonna be in control in your own home. You're gonna say yes, you're gonna say no. If you say no, you're gonna get a call in 20 minutes from my team asking you when is a good time to show. It's a script, but the impression it gives when I walk in, or that agent that throws 3 comps on the table walks in, is very, very different, right? And these are all, it's a tool. We all have it for free now, because GSMLS caught up to NJMLS, right? But it's a tool that we use, and a lot of people don't use it because they're not appreciating how scripted you can be and how you can turn it into your story. You didn't pay a dime more for it, right? The MLS just, well, they probably did charges, but it's all in that number, right? It's all in the number, but you can use it as a sales pitch. You can use this as a sales pitch. What I say to people is, there's a difference between a team and an individual agent. And I'm not down, I know individual agents that just kill it, but they're just incredible, right? Or they're the agent and the team underneath them. I go out and when I sell, I'll say, we have a system, but the cool thing is, I never run an open house. I'll be there. I may hang out with the team, mentor them, teach them some things. I'll make sure they understand your house, but I'm never gonna be there to be the person that's capturing the lead because I'm not doing the buy side on your house. When you plant that seed, it's a pretty powerful seed. That's why I use it, right? Because now I'm not the agent that's trying to get both sides. They're like, ooh, this guy's fighting for me. Yes, that's what I want. I want that bulldog, right? But they know that my team is occupying the open house. Why that's so important is when they go in here, I have all my team's contacts. I'm not marketing to them. I'm not going after them individually. But when I want to send a price adjustment, a condition adjustment or something, I have every contact. It's very difficult for individual agents with multiple listings to do that because they're asking anyone in the office to cover their open house, right? And that person isn't going to give them their buyer leads. That's craziness, right? Crazy talk. So, but the system allows me to do that, right? So think of what your story is and use it to your advantage. You have all these cool tools. It's really powerful. And I can tell you, people out there like me are fighting that way, right? So, and I'm not the only one. There's a lot of agents. There's an agent in Bergen County, Rachel Melito. You guys might know her. She's killing it that way. Absolutely killing it. Like, not her numbers aren't great, but she's going to be off the charts soon. And I think that that's all these tools, especially specifically KV Core, is one of many that we have. That if you build a line around it as to why you're better than the next agent. The link that I showed you for the listings is really powerful. There's another trick that almost no one knows, and I'm going to give this up to you guys. So, whether you love or you hate Zillow, it's better than looking at things on our MLS, right? We all know that, hopefully. But if someone's coming from Zillow, if everyone's looking at Zillow, I don't necessarily want to give Zillow the dollars for being on the Zillow agent list, although I do, because I have to talk to them every once in a while and make you pay to do that. But you don't want to fall down in their rankings. So for listings, there's a reason when I look at my ratios for our listings, we usually do 4 times the views of every other agent in the county. And there's a reason for it. Zillow rewards engagement, Zillow rewards media. If you have video, you go right to the top of the list. If you have 3D, especially Zillow 3D, they love you to death. They keep you. The longer you're at the top 3 in the list, the more traffic you're gonna get, the more traffic you're gonna get, the more likely the offers you're gonna get, right? It's a numbers game like any sales thing. So how do you keep yourself at the top of the Zillow list? You run a Facebook ad with the Zillow link to your home in it. So if you go out to Zillow, I'll show you this. No one knows this. Big tip. So if I go out to Zillow, actually I'm gonna go Premier Agent. So if I go out to Zillow, the screen's the format's a little off, so I'm gonna struggle for a second here. And I go down to listings, and then I say, on this, and I click on this one, right? You will see a public view button, okay? If I click the public view, that's the link. So if I say share, it'll pop up a box and say, get the shareable link here, and you copied it to your clipboard. That link brings the public to you directly on Zillow. So they're not searching anymore. So if you put up an ad with that link and some cool words, awesome house, gonna love it, whatever you wanna put up, right? Anything that you wanna put up that's gonna capture them and make them click the link, Zillow is gonna interpret that as engagement and keep you higher in the rankings than other agents. So your listing gets seen more. It's as simple as that.
Can you go through that just one more time quickly?
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully you have a Premier Agent account, and if you don't, the reason it's more important now than ever. Once Zillow moved over to IDX and started to compete with us, I say that, but they're not in our market yet, but someday they might be. But once they moved over to IDX, things got screwy. Like central air is off on some homes. Home stats aren't what they need to be. You need to be a Premier Agent to edit those. So it's more critical now that they moved over to IDX very specifically. I just want to point out a couple things then while we're in Zillow. So listings, obviously good pictures are always a good idea. You'll notice down below here, somewhere, here, there, there's a video walkthrough. When you post a video walkthrough, this isn't a slideshow, this is actual video walkthrough with a handheld cam and stuff. When you post that, Zillow gives you different rankings based on what you do on their system. So if you have less than 20 pictures, they don't love you. I can tell you that right now. Over 20 pictures is a must. When you put up video, they love you even more. When you put up 3D, which I'm trying to find in this interface, it's somewhere here. I just don't know where it is. Somewhere here it's...
You're talking about the 3D walkthrough that's
Yeah,
native in Zillow?
The 3D Panocam?
Yeah.
It's somewhere in this listing. What that will do is, it keeps you at the highest rank for Zillow. So if it's you, or somebody that has pretty good view counts, but you have all that stuff, Zillow's gonna keep you high in the rankings no matter what. It's a really cool tool, and we know more eyes on us, the more people that will likely come, right? So then, if you go in to your listing, and I guess I'll go back, let me go back to Zillow Premier and show you how you get there.
Are you able to edit in Zillow with are you pulling directly from your Garden State MLS?
It is, and there's very few home facts you can change right now.
Yeah.
So Zillow won't allow you to do it like you used to, because of the IDX feed. That's why, and another tip for you, if you're not a Zillow Premier agent, I pay Zillow $50 a month to be a Premier agent on my zip code. I get no leads, but I can call them. Everyone ever try to interact with Zillow on the email? You get 2 weeks later and you get a response? Well, all I do is I call for all my agents, or they say they're me, one of the two, and then we have open support line with them. And it helps because if you need to reset days back to 0 on a listing or things like that, it works. It's a very good spend of $50. Most people spend that on lead generation sources that never work, right? This is what I use for it. So, so on Zillow, you click on, this looks different than what you're gonna see on your normal screen because the screen's a little compressed, but up on your tab, you're just gonna pick your listings, and say My Listings, and then I'm gonna pick on the Schindler one, and in your listing, you're gonna see a share button. And at the bottom of it, it'll have a shareable link. And that's what you grab. Well, so if I paste that link in up here, oh, and Zillow knows it's you, so don't go in and paste it 100 times thinking you're getting better rankings. It doesn't work that way. So, but this is the listing. And how you get your ranks. Now, I've tried to figure out how to normalize views and stuff. It doesn't work. I mean, you can get like homes. Like if I do something in the same home, you can figure out if the views are good or bad. I will give you a practical example of something that happened last week, and if it tells you a lesson about how Zillow treats you when you don't do the right things. One of my agents put up a listing on a Wednesday night, well, late Wednesday night for Thursday to hit the hot sheets. Pictures got delayed from the photographer, so we didn't have pictures up. Pictures came in the afternoon, he put them up. He lost his initial, you only have one stage, one show when you open those curtains, right? He lost it, and his view counts were the worst view counts we've ever had in our history. So, and I track everyone. Our team tracks view counts because we believe that really does matter. But what it tells you is, if you don't have pictures for your listing, hold it. It's probably worth your commission. You're gonna make more money, right? So if it's a difference between a day and not a day, I would suggest holding it because the stats tell me that it does make a difference. I see a lot of listings go up and then 3 days later have pictures. The rush to the MLS is hurting you days on market. It's hurting you in so many ways. I know you want to get it up and you feel like you locked it in, but if you sign the contract and you set the appropriate dates and you have all the steps, I've never had anyone defect, or if it did, it was a death in the family or something that I'm off the hook anyway for. But not putting a picture up when you list, or very, very close proximity before it syncs to Zillow, it hurts you. And his listing, he got one offer. We were getting 10 in the same neighborhood. Very unique. I was a huge lesson learned for us, and he had said, I'll never do it again. I'll never put up a listing without a picture. So, just a note, and I know Zillow is finicky about coming soon. Sometimes they don't, in our MLS, we're not syndicating coming soons directly. You have to go in and create the coming soon, and then you take them off the market, or it takes them off when it comes online. Coming soons do work on Zillow, but you gotta manually do them, right, to do them right.
No, it'll pull.
What's that?
It pulls over.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you want to do it with a date delay of significance and you have paperwork to show it, you can go in and do a manual coming soon. I think it's Zillow/coming-soon is the URL.
Only if you're a Premier agent.
Yeah, I think it is. You're right. You're right.
Up to 50 bucks.
Yeah, you have to be a Premier agent. That's a good point. I remember that because I screwed it up because I called him one day. So, but yeah, Zillow, you know, the tip on the link is pretty cool. So we use both on the listings. We use the one from KV Core, and that's a grab of information, right? Just trying to think of other lead sources around listings in particular, because we believe listings fuel all the rest of the engine, just like you guys probably do, right? We see the buyers come in and we create a big buyer pool from our listings. When you, does anyone use text codes from KV Core?
No, I don't think we
So
have
that's the
that.
team number. Only one code per office can essentially be used. So we have, where would I have that? I think I have it in my photos. We have text codes that we use on all of our sign writers. I have one here to kind of show you.
Oh, yeah.
But we can also use them anywhere else. People limit themselves in terms of how they're doing it. I wish I had it right here. I just took a picture of one. But basically, it's a text writer. It says for more information, text this code, right? Our average is about 3 a listing, and then we just research their information because we only have a phone number, but we have their phone number now. We don't do an immediate callback. We send back a note or a video depending on where it is in the listing process. The note would be, hey, this one's coming online on this day, because sometimes people see the sign and immediately text, you don't even have it fully online yet. But we'll send back that message, or we'll send back a video campaign to them saying, hey, thanks so much, we're gonna have an open house this day, blah, 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 and it goes out to them. Text codes are kind of neat because it's a freebie. You already have a sign out. It's a $5 to get them from House of Magnets or wherever else. So you throw a text code up and people can text, and then you can basically follow up with them. Our conversions on them are nowhere near other lead sources. I think we probably have, I'm guessing probably 300 leads from text codes over all of our years, 2 years, and probably 2 have converted. It's just another feed though. That's the way we look at it. If you do events though, if you're an agent that goes out and does events in town, text codes are pretty cool for people to register because they can text you right at the sign, and then you have their phone number. It's pretty neat. You don't have to do a roster of sorts. You can also use the KV Core Open House app for events. So I've done Bootin' Day. I put out the kiosk and I say register for whatever. I give away free CPR training, right? And people would register, and they fed into KV Core, and now I have their contact information from a Bootin' Day. It doesn't have to be used for just an open house. It can be used for anything, school events, tricky trays, whatever you want to put it out at.
Great. Awesome.
Okay. What else? Ask me any questions.
Can I just, oh, sorry, go ahead. Can I make a comment about, when you have a new listing, you could use the new playbook?
Yeah, I have
And-
not. Yeah, go ahead.
I've sent out some of the plays, so the first play is to, send it out to your entire team. So it's made my life so much easier to just click on their template to everybody in this office, new listing, and I just put something in the subject line that I think is gonna grab somebody's attention. There's a button on there for everybody to go into their CRM and click buyers that like that home. So the second play, when you're listing the house in KV Core, the playbook, is to now go into your CRM and match the buyers, which is the button that you had brought up. So it's really the same thing, but it's showing you in the playbook.
And it's easier to navigate for sure. Yeah.
So it's like, something for dummies.
Yeah.
Like, KV Core for dummies, like list the house. So, but you guys can all see if your CRMs are set up, oh, I need somebody in public utilities in Hackettstown under 400 with that behavior, boom, their names automatically pop up, and then all you have to do is send that email out.
Yep. And are you using, at the office level, are you using any kind of enterprise boost for any listings? Hopefully not.
No.
Okay, yeah, so I don't recommend them. I know they try to sell them. We use them in our office, and the problem is, individual agents, if you want to use their boost, it basically puts up a Facebook ad and gets you some lead files, right? And you probably get 7 to 10 on $50, so in that range, roughly $5 a lead. It works. You'll get some leads. They're top of funnel, right? They're not bottom of the funnel, but they're top of funnel, and they're people to nurture over time. It's a good grab for them, and you just click a couple buttons in KV Core into the core listing machine, and it'll create those ads for you. And you can tailor them a little bit to your liking. If you have an enterprise boost, the individual agents one will run at the same time. KV Core doesn't have a way to separate them. You pay, you get no leads. The office gets the leads. So it's a mess up in their system. They haven't addressed it yet. So, but at the individual agent level, if the office is boosting it, works perfectly. A very simple way to put Facebook ads up without a lot of work, and it's just simple, right? And the playbook can follow on to do those ads. By the way, it bounces out to do the property boosts.
Are you using 4% for your listing presentations?
I am not. We have a pretty unique listing presentation. I come from the Steve Jobs School of Thought. My listing presentation is 4.5 pages. Half is reviews. Very, very tight. In the Weicker world, they use this Candyland chart, confuse the hell out of you. I sat down and I created my own, and that's the only reason why I don't. Now I will say I use Moxie Present. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. So Moxie Present is basically a CMA tool, and I've incorporated my listing presentation into it. So I'll send it out via a URL or a link, and it basically shows them what we've got. Yeah. I might even have that up here, but yeah. I thought I had it open. Yeah, there it is. So like this is, no matter what device you're on, this is what it will look like. I'll show you. So basically our presentation, like our slides about us, whoops, scroll a little slow here. So it tells you about us, tells you about the house. This one's a luxury property, so I think it has 7 slides. And it just goes through this comparison left to right, and then averages, which everyone likes to, I don't know why they like to digest it, because it's not necessarily relevant, and then we tell what the property value will be, and then, you know, all about our social.
Similar to toolkit.
But very brief. And the comps, the reason why we like this system is if you go to comps, if I click on any of these, it'll let me browse the comps in real time. So when I pop this up, I give it to them on an iPad, and I'll go, look, you think your house is worth that? Well, let's take a look at this kitchen. I'll pop open, I go, do you think yours or this one? And I'll just go through it in that way. You can't pop off the, you know, but the Present does the same thing as what I'm doing, it's just a different platform.
Glenn, I don't wanna be a party pooper or anything,
Yeah.
but we can take you hostage and keep you here for the rest of the day and have questions for you,
Yeah.
I'm sure. But, you know, given us a good hour and a half,
Yeah.
just excellent, excellent. How to do better with KV Core, some of the things that we can do. If there was one takeaway that you wanted everybody to know, what do you think?
There is so many videos on KV Core's support site, and they're digestible. It's not like these crazy, they show you in them how to navigate each screen to do what you're gonna do. So anything I've discussed was all learned through doing that, right? I mean, so that's the key.
I put the videos on the iPad with the laptop in front of me, and that's go back and forth. Pause the video, do it on the laptop,
Yeah.
right? And just kind of learn yourself, go work through it.
Yeah, and I kind of look at it like if you're an agent that's doing, whether you're doing 5 or you're doing 100 transactions,